Let's wander for a second. Ooh, Molly's Moxie increased by 1. As two of you are walking down the street, Molly suddenly shouts and gestures at a nearby gun shop. Oh, hey, I know this bulldogger. Hang on a second. Wanna go shopping? Nah, just get my typewriter a quick tune-up. The cylon is kinda hinky. Cut yourself a piece of cake. I'll be right back. You don't see any cake around here. Disappointingly, but Molly returns presently with a freshly polished Tommy gun and a cheerful grin. Now we're hitting on all sixes. Come on, sugar, let's get a wiggle on. Here I thought Gabby was hard to understand. One of the Tin Lizzies flags you down. Hey, boss. Ah, my trusted lieutenant, the Daisy Bronze? Close enough. What's up? We just sent out another shipment of spare parts. There's some leftovers that weren't quite up to our standards of unrustedness and no cracks having, but we thought you might be able to use them for whatever it is I use this stuff for. Thanks. On your way to wherever, you run into a cool guy wearing some cool sunglasses, strutting down the avenue. Hey, baby, what's happening? Hi. I can see you dig the shade. You got a good taste. Hey, the what? You like my sunglasses? Ah, gotcha. I don't think anyone calls them shades at that for at least another 20 years, though. I pride myself on being the cutting edge. He flips open his coat, showing you rows of sunglasses inside. Can I care to buy yourself a pair? For you, only 25 meat. When you're wearing these, nobody can see you that embarrassing thing to your left eye is always doing. Stylish sunglasses. Sure, I'll take it. Takes your meat and expertly selects the best pair of sunglasses for you from the lining of his coat. Nice! Looking good, baby. Nice doing business with ya. Wait, what am I doing here? Well, I got nothing else to do except... Oh, hey, it is the pantsmonger. Hey there, friend. You look like someone who appreciates a fine pair of pants. What does that even look like? Astute, discerning. Dare I say it, perspicacious. I never anyone who dared say that word before. Listen, I got a pair of pants here that's gonna knock your socks off. What? He opens his case and pulls out his pair of socks that are oddly stiff and shiny. Feast your eyes on these babies. What's up with them? They're wax, guaranteed grease-proof, and they're yours for only 20 meat. Sure. I guess we should move on to the story. Alright, time to go to the bus stop. Where do you want to take the bus? Crystal Dream Lake. Chapter 2. The Spooky Forest. Ooh, that's a big map. Oh god, this game's a lot longer than I thought. Some kind of funky pump contraption. Probably ought to introduce you before you start poking at his stuff. The lighthouse keeper, presumably. Excuse me, are you the lighthouse keeper? Sorry to bother your name, Slime Green. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Are you okay? I ain't talked out loud in a while. I get rusty. I see. Lighthouse keeping's a lonely job, huh? Well, it's solitary, that's for sure. I ain't minded, though. I ain't exactly a people person. What can I do for ya? Have you seen an old compass around? The directions kind or the circles kind? Directions. I got an old one picked at an estate sale about 20 odd years ago, reckon. I'd show it to you, but it's upstairs in the lighthouse. Flooded? Yep, filled right up to the top. Have a look through the window and you might see a fish pass by. How'd that even happen? Pump broke. No, I mean, how does a lighthouse just fill up with water? We aren't even below sea level here. Something to do with the tides, I reckon. This is a lake. Anyhow, I need a Glaxon valve to fix the pump. There's a hardware store down the road a piece if you mind to help out. Fine, I guess. Ooh, arcane oven. I would love to do this, but I still need some sandwich cream. Single book sits on the table. War and Peace, huh? That's a hefty one. Mind a bookmark now. Of course. Oh, looks like you just started. Been reading about 5.5 years. Your bookmark is still in chapter 1. I got I just got up to the last sentence of it. I've been reading one word every day. War and Peace is like almost 600,000 words long. Hurry up, don't tell me how it ends. I won't. Dusky chess set. This is a nice chess set. Did you whittle the pieces yourself? Yep, took me 16 years. It took you 6 months to carve each piece? Pawns went quicker than tall ones, more or less, yep. The horses are particularly tricky, no sense in rushing it. Wanna play a game? Can't, already got a game in progress. The only place that's been moved is a single white pawn. Yep, I went first. That was about 2 years ago. Who are you playing with? Nobody. Well here, I'll play you. Push one of the black pawns forward. Interesting. It's your turn. Don't rush me, I want to consider all the possibilities. Come back in 3 or 4 months. Right. Kind of funky pump contraption. Light out from this house. Oh yeah, we have to go to the distillery for the mob. Molly points out a signpost at the fork in the trail. Sandwich Historical Village and Witch Trial Museum. Ooh, witches! Let's go check it out. You get that kind of spooky stuff? It's the berries! Gets the blood pumping, you know? Well, if they have a haunted house, you have to promise not to shoot any of the actors. No promises! I'll check it out later. Grandpa Joe's Distillery. A spooky-looking lady is guarding the front of the old distillery. Presumably she's a vampire? She looks spooky enough to be a vampire. Is that racist? She glares at you as you approach, her eyes flashing blood red. Begone from this place! You have no business here! I do actually. I'd like for you to invite me inside. What? No! Don't you have to? I thought it was one of the big vampire things. That if someone asks you to invite me inside, you have to do it? That is nearly the most opposite of true of what that it's possible for it to be. Oh darn. Leave this place at once, or your consequences will be most dire. Oh, come on, don't be like that. What's eating you? If we do not leave, the question will be, what is eating you? And the answer will be, me. Haha, that was pretty good. Haha, yeah, you really set me up for that one. You cannot frighten me, foul creature, for your power issues from the darkness of night and the night. Oh jeez, I completely lost track of the time. She looked up at the midday sun, and her hair bursts into flames. With a screech, she turns into a bat, which is still on fire, and escapes into a hole in the side of the building. Huh. Okay then. Well, that's one way to get past an encounter. This door is locked with a government-issued combination lock. Must be a prohibition thing. This is the hole that the guard fled through. Squirm through. This door is locked from the outside. You have to go back at the hole you came in. Ah, fine. Bomb combination. Use Don Toblerone's terrible combination to unlock the door. Much better. Almost everything on the shelf is busted up trash, but there's one unsmashed crate of booze. Nice! You got crate of vodka. Ooh, take it to Speakeasy. This is where Grandpa Joe kept all this broken glass. The booze that used to be stored here is now in booze heaven. It's a laboratory workbench. This used to be a still, and it still is. Oh, I don't have enough hobo code. Where is it? Here it is. You are level 6 student of the hobo alphabet. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go back and learn more. It's crazy that this is still here after all these years. There are a bunch of vampires hanging out in here, and it probably shouldn't be a surprise that they noticed you. That's them, the door guard pointing at you. That's them right there. Okay, now definitely shouldn't be a surprise. Huh. Ouch. Oh no, it was random. Oh no. Shelly, no. Get the vampire. Yeah, cut me. That's not good. Ouch. You won! Unfortunately, a bunch more vampires that were lounging around in the rear of the building are now getting up to see what the fuss is all about. You got an item, Vampire Skull Cap. Some vampires have intimidating widow's peaks, but the ones who don't wear these hats makes it look like they're having one. Strudel. Food. Is a piping hot strudel filled with blood instead of, I don't know, raspberries or whatever strudels normally have in them. You got an item, Cosmetic Wine. There's a label on this vat that reads, Grandpa Joe's Extra Fancy Garlic Schnapps. Wow, maybe it wasn't Prohibition that put this place out of business. Ooh, Stench Armor. Do I have enough? No, I only have 4 Stench Armor. That's very unfortunate. I wonder if there's any books that let me gain this effect. No, this gives Sleaze Armor. That's not what I need. Do I have any food? Or potions? Well, I do have the cheap cologne. I guess I can use that. Open the valve. You crank open the valve and dump about 12 gallons of pure distilled garlic juice on the floor. Wow! Even with stench protection, it's a nasal experience you won't soon forget. The vampires completely flip their collective schnola. Some of them turn into bats and fight each other to be the first out of the hole in the wall. Some turn into mist and shoot out the cracks in the ceiling, and some just run out the front door. After that, you hear several screams as they realize it's still daytime outside. That should satisfy Don Toblerone and his boss. Hopefully they won't mind the smell. Unfriendly vat, do not use. This drum is most certainly empty. The drum emits a hollow, sober clang. Ooh, vampires have to create a booze on the floor. You gotta create a rum. This sofa is soaking wet. One of those mist vampires must have been sitting here. The mirror in his vanity has still been broken, but the drawers still work. It's jewelry! Turquoise earrings. These beautiful but ostentatious earrings make it so the rest of your body wants to keep up with the Joneses, who in this context are your ears, Margaret and William Jones. Snake tooth ring. The tooth is just a delivery mechanism. The venom is actually stored in the ring part. This table is strewn with all miscellaneous vampire stuff. You grab everything that looks useful. Vampire boots. These were invented when a cobbler accidentally mispronounced vampire bats. Makes you float like a spooky vampire. Ooh. Whee! No. Well, that's one mission complete. Let's go to the museum. You push through the woods into a small clearing and discover a group of 3 vampires, because apparently you aren't allowed to discover anything good in any of these clearings. Well, I say 3 vampires, but there's 1 vampire, 1 bat, and 1 small class. So it could be just a vampire, her pet bat, and then leftovers of a bean's lunch. I assure you, we are all 3 vampires. Oh crap, she heard me. What's the deal here? You demonstrating the vampire evolutionary line or something? What? You know, like a bat evolved out of the cloud and the humanoid vampire evolved out of the bat. No, is that a caveman vampire? No, if anything, this is more like these 3 states of the vampire matter. But, you know, solid, liquid, and gas. Bats are liquid? Look, the metaphor is not a perfect one. Are we going to fight or what? Ah, sure. I'm gonna need more AP. Yay! Ah, Sandwich Museum. Maybe this is where we can pick up some sandwich cream. Oh, it's just a village called Sandwich. Unfortunate. The village of Sandwich was home to a terrifying witch cult until all the inhabitants were convicted and executed in witch trials in 1692. And the village stood empty and uninhabited for hundreds of years. Come explore the town and learn more. This house was residence of the Danforth family. Step inside to learn more. Putnam House, which partially burned down under extremely witchy circumstances. This trove may have been used to bathe human sacrifices before the ceremony. We don't have evidence of that, but it seems possible. There's just a horse trove. Actually, it's a water trove. I don't know why I said that other thing just now. Fishing it. You reeling a pair of old shoes? They're called saddle shoes because they're like a saddle. They're worn because like a saddle, they're worn directly underneath the butt. Ride the ground like a horse. Okay, I have to see this one. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You got cheese loaf. Ooh. And a rusty cola can. Huh. Oh, a well. Why is there meat in the well? We actually use this well for water, so please don't throw meat into it. Sandwich's church has served as an Airstats town hall, courtroom, racquetball court, and dark sorcery place. Nice gazebo. The wealthy Proctor family owned the biggest and most conveniently toilet-adjacent house in the village. Traces of strange plant matter in these tubs prove they were useful for brewing all kinds of horrible potions. Look in the tub, but don't see any identifiable traces of plant matter. You just have to take the sign's word for it. Sandwich boasted the county's very first tripartite outhouse. Quite an unusual art design for a game. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Please do not attempt to use it, it is very old. An old-fashioned 3-seat outhouse. Alright, well, let's go investigate these houses. Shelves laden with identical jars of off-white stuff. The Danforth residence has been converted into a gift shop for your convenience. Why not take home a jar of the sandwich cream that was the village's chief export besides witchcraft? Ooh, sandwich cream, I need one. Yes, please. I'll take one. I'll take a couple. This condiment purports to be a perfect topping for any sandwich, but the ingredient list suggests that it's just old congealed cream. Shelves laden with identical jars of off-white stuff. Sandwich cream, yeah. Black Cat is staring glumly at an empty dish labeled Hecate. Fill dish. You fill the dish with a thick cream and Hecate starts going to town on it. New cat unlocked. What do you mean new cat unlocked? You mean I can collect cats? You can now pet Hecate to receive a boon. Okay. You stroke Hecate's silky black fur. Hecate's blessing will protect you from anybody trying to burn you at the stake. Okay. Oh, actually, speaking of which, before we go back here, we need to go back to the lighthouse, because that had an oven. Let's see. We had, and if we remember correctly, we had a recipe right here. Where is it? Here it is, Dough Baby recipe. This is a recipe for one of those dough glob familiars that doughboys have. It calls for 3 cups of mayonnaise-enriched flour mixed up with something called sandwich cream and baked in an arcane oven. We were looking for that. Let's do some cooking. You carefully follow the recipe and whip up a little dough baby. Give it a name. You got a night. Yep. I will name you Pills, after the very familiar mascot. You made a friend. It heals its owner. Hey there, Pills. Alright, Shelly, you can rest for a little while. Back to the museum! Off the side of the dirt road you're walking down, you see a patch of blood moss growing on a bone tree. Okay, it's not a bone tree, it's just a normal dead tree. I just thought it would sound cooler if I said it was a bone tree. You squeeze the moss and stash the driblins. Everything in his house was destroyed by fire except these 2 objects, which were found concealed inside a metal box. I'm sorry to think this entire village was just burned down, and they weren't actually witches. Security guards keeping a close eye on things in here, which honestly isn't very difficult since there's only 2. Hi there. Hello. Welcome to the Putnam house. Please don't touch the exhibits. Ask about the exhibits. Excuse me, Sorry, I just get paid to stand here and keep an eye on things. I actually don't know anything about the exhibits. Huh, guess that won't work. This plinth has an old book on it. It appears to be someone's diary. Oh yeah, the little description of the front of the plinth says Diary of Delia Putnam. That confirms that. Mostly it doesn't look interesting enough to be worth deciphering the archaic handwriting and spelling, so you flip ahead to the last page. 6th of March, 1692. Ugh, I hate that Peter Proctor so much. He thinks he can just go around being as mean as he wants to everybody, just because he has lots of money and lives in a big house and all. I should have used a much stronger curse, it would have been worth the trouble. Oh, maybe they were actually witches then. There's an antique ragdoll on display here. This ragdoll's been a bunch of old pins and needles stuck to it, and for some reason the word boring embroidered across its front. Little plaque on the front of the plinth says, witches frequently use special dolls called puppets to curse their enemies. This one was apparently made to target a Mrs. or Miss Boring, though no one of that name is listed in the town records. And then in a tiny text at the bottom of the plaque, pins were not found with the puppet, but were added for demonstration purposes. Interesting. Oops. This sign is written in rough black wax. Today is a trial of Patricia Williams, who stand accused. The rest of the sign is too weathered and decayed to read. In 1692, the inhabitants of Sandwich were executed in the witch trials that were popular at the time, as evidenced by this old signpost announcing one such trial. The altar where the town's witches performed their horrifying sacrifices. Note the bloodstains. An old and dilapidated church altar. There are some brown splotches in the corner that could possibly be bloodstains. 1692, huh? This chessboard has clearly been left out on display as an allegory for the battle between good and evil. Black is winning, representing a warning for all good-hearted people to be vigilant against the encroaching forces of darkness. These dried fronds have no historical significance. You're not fond of this plant. This arras appears to depict several important ancestors of the Proctor family line, though due to the low resolution of embroidery used at the time, it's impossible to discern exactly who. Check the footnote. It has been pointed out to us that this arras is unlikely to have been manufactured in the capital of the Pas-de-Calais department of northern France, and therefore it is merely a sparkling tapestry. According to county records, these were the most expensive stairs in the county. They go up a full and 1.5 floors. There's no plaque on this table. Must have always been boring. Stairs up to the 2.5 floor? These stairs just keep going until they hit the wall. Seems like rich people just have always had weird taste. The upstairs rooms are off limits while they catalog the contents. Please pardon our dust. This bedroom was traditionally given to servants as it was felt, by the Proctors, that it would be less of a tragedy if they got up in the middle of the night and fell down the stairwell. Mrs. Proctor's bedroom is especially off limits, while we figure out how to deal with the strange mold we found behind the wallpaper. Mr. Proctor's bedroom, home to the county's most extensive collection of cravats. This was the bedroom of Peter Proctor, the only child of Nicholas and Abigail Proctor. This was a Proctor's spare room, where they kept the spares of all the expensive things they owned. This room is not part of the tour, and it's also not part of the house. What? I wonder if the... old newspaper has any word on this. Let's see, nope, it only goes back to 1700s. Alright, back to the Crystal Lake then. This leads to a little cemetery behind the church. Welcome to the Sandwich Cemetery. Please be respectful of the graves. Also, check out how many of them were terrifying witches who were executed in the witch trials of 1692. Peter Proctor. He was a duty head until the very end. Beatrice Proctor. Abigail Proctor? Alicia Proctor. Nicholas Proctor. What the heck? He lived to be 230 years old? 1886, that has to be a typo. Proctor, our town founder, born 1582, died 1644. Ah, hobo coats, but I don't recognize that. This tombstone is covered in lichen. Weird, you'd think there'd be some sort of mystery here, but... This one is a weird one, though. Died 1886. Maybe we'll come back to it later. To the hardware store. Oh, nope. As you're walking down a dirt road towards your destination, you catch a whiff of dog food. You turn your head towards its door, which turns out to be a pet store. Yeah, let's get sidetracked. It's one of those boxes full of bees. Bee box, you think it's called. Smart to Greta to sell compassionate pets instead of indifferent ones. Lichen? Okay, so it is pronounced lichen. Thank you. Good fronds are hard to find. A cat. Greta, you presume? Hello there. Welcome to Greta's Compassionate Pet Store. I'm Greta. Hey Greta, I'm Sly. Can I ask you a question? Of course. Where are all the pets? Oh, they're out back. In cages? No, in the woods. I see. What stops them from leaving? Compassion! Alright, what pets you have for sale? Well, I got this snake available for adoption. I also got one giant mosquito left in stock. What do you feed these? Oh, you don't have to worry about regular food. They'll graze or scavenge for whatever. They're all very resourceful. That's certainly convenient. You want to soup them up a bit though, make them really beefy? I sell some specially formulated familiar chow. I'm a little comfortable with the words like soup and beef in a pet store, but okay. Haha! Tell me about the special chow. I got 3 bags of familiar chow left. Familiar chow is specially formulated to beef off your buddies. Want to buy a bag? Just 100 meat. Not right now, thanks. Tell me about the snake. Oh, you can't go wrong with the world's most dangerous rope. This guy will totally fill your enemies up with poison. Just 150 meat. Maybe not for me. What about a giant mosquito? You know, don't knock it. A mosquito is great to have on your side of a fight. Not only can they suck the blood out of stuff, they can also pump the blood into you to heal you. Mathematically speaking, that's twice the power. Gross. I'll take it. What will we name the giant mosquito? Marry the mosquito. Classic. Here you go. Might want to get a malaria shot just in case. Bites any of your physical damage and then heals you. Huh. Neat. Tell me more about the snake. You know what? Sure, I'll take it. So there's a snake. Yay! And then who do I equip as my familiar? Oh, I guess we can still give pills a little more time.